In our last example in data binding in Angular, we will create a two-way data binding. So first of all, we'll create a component ng generate component two-way data binding. So that's our component, the two-way data binding. And in our HTML file in two-way data binding, we will remove this. Oh wait, first of all, we must change this into app dash two-way data binding. Then you save it. And then here in our HTML file, we'll create an input and use a directive called ngModel and label it as name, and then placeholder is equals to enter your name. Then we save it. This is showing an error because we didn't put an import here in the app module.ts. So here in our app module.ts, we'll import forms module. Then we save it. Then here in our imports, we'll also declare that forms module. Then we save it. Then here, the error is gone in the ngModel, but we still have an error here in the name, wherein it says that it doesn't exist in our TypeScript file. So as we go here in our TypeScript file, we will create a variable name with a string type equivalent or initialize it into a null value. And then we will create a method onForm submit. And then we will put an alert name and then colon, comma, that name. It's showing an errors. It should be console.log. Okay, it should be console.log. And then afterwards, we will put a paragraph here called hello, then name, so that we can display it again, just like what we did in the event binding earlier. And we'll start our server as ng-serve. Then we will refresh this page and we'll put a name here, John Doe. Let's say it's like that. You see how the two-way data binding works. Two-way data binding works as um wait, I have an excess there. Okay. So two-way data binding works as it's like connected to each other in real time. So basically this name string is connected to whatever you put here in our input, because the thing about it, using ngModel, this this element is connected to your input, and whatever you put here in this input is also automatically stored in our variable name in here. That's why we just initialized it into a null. So let's say I put your name here. I put your name here. So basically in our input, it will automatically read that the text your name is being passed into the variable name, and it's also going to be displayed, or it is going to be used as the value for this variable in here. Again, I know it's complicated and we'll take it slow. So again, we created an input element using ngModel with a which is equivalent to the variable name, wherein if you type a text in here in this input, it is automatically passed into the variable name in our TypeScript, which is initially null, but you inserted a text, so it has now the value your name, and then that value of the name will also going to be passed in the in in the p tag that we created so that it will display the text in here. So if I change this into John Doe, basically this input passes the value into the variable name, and then this name stores this value John Doe, and then this p tag gets the value of the name, which will be displayed in here. That's why two-way data binding is useful in most of the times, especially if you have to create a a, a create or display a data which is dependent on the user. That would be all for the data binding. Thank you and see you in the next lecture.